Welcome, Mala. This is a second act reinvention series with Sochcast. It's specially designed for women because I think women bring in a lot at the second act of life, much more than they bring to the first act, an act which is then designed by somebody else. But in the second act, as I say, it is something that we have the power to design, and no better than you. So welcome, Mala. This is Mala Honati. She is a trekker for life. She is a mountaineer. She is a person who believes in fitness at all ages, in fact, and she's younger than anybody else today at 68.
70.
Oh, she's 70. Sorry, she's 70. She's 70 already. At 70, she has done so many marathons. We wanted to know everything about marathons, trekking, and reaching the mountaintops from Mala herself. A banker in the previous life, as I call it.
Yeah, correct.
And now empowering herself every single day. So Mala, welcome to the reinvention series, because if you have reinvented yourself every single point in the last 30 years, I don't know if 45 minutes of this podcast will do justice, but tell us all about it. So let's start with hearing from the part that you started reinventing from a banker's life to somebody into fitness all the way.
Thank you, Archana. Thank you for having me here and giving me an opportunity to talk to a wide range of women
Yes.
who are in the cusp, what to do, thinking that. So probably whatever I share with you may motivate or inspire some ladies who are into that frame but are not able to take any
Yes.
decision. Yeah, as you said, I got into banking. I don't say compulsion, but having no other alternative. My main intention was to be independent, and unless you're financially independent, your thinking also cannot be independent. Otherwise,
So rightly said. So rightly said.
yeah. So otherwise, you will be dependent on your somebody. How they say, in the childhood, father; in the adulthood, a husband; and in the old age, sons and children, and all that. Like that, you will be dependent on somebody, and your dreams will be shunted. So you will not be able to fly with your dreams.
You're so right.
So first thing in my life, I wanted to be independent financially and maintain that. Otherwise, long back, about 45-50 years back, getting a job and continuing in that was a difficult thing.
Yes.
Because girl's mind was groomed or conditioned for the family life. Get married, have 2 or 3 children, listen to your in-laws, husband, and adjust and intertwine your life in their life. You don't have your own individual life.
Right.
So that I didn't want. Even in those days, 50 years back, I was telling it will be my decision to continue in the job or not, not my husband's decision. So that was my stand. I wanted to be independent. See, being independent and having a family and taking care of family, I don't think they will be in any way affecting each other. So with that idea, I took the banking job. It is not that I had a very ambitious plan to be a bank chairman or a ED or something like that, just to be financially independent. That was the idea. But on the back of the mind, I wanted to be an outdoor person, not necessarily adventure. I didn't even know the spelling of mountaineering and marathon in those days. Just I wanted a free, free will, free spirit bird like. Whatever comes to my mind, I wanted to do.
Okay.
Along with that, whatever is there at the family level, your responsibility, your commitment, that also should go on. It is not that somebody's personality, talent, intelligence should be curbed because of some other thing. They should get proper equity in the life.
I love the word equity anyway. Not equality, but
not
equity.
equality, because in certain cases women need special treatment, special concessions in certain cases. It is not all the time we are competing with the men. In some cases we are much better than them. So in whatever way we need the support from the family, from the society, from the professional environment that we need. That was my idea. That was what I was very vocal about all these things in those days. And then course of time I said, instead of talking and arguing with these people, let me start doing myself. Whatever was there in my mind, I joined karate class. I joined Bharatanatyam class. I was playing badminton. I started going for local hiking. All these outdoor activities were not known at all. I come from a very traditional, conservative South Indian family where we are groomed for graduation and get married. And then we were not allowed to wear other dresses also except saris. So such was the atmosphere. Then one thing led to the other. Doing karate for 4-5 years, that developed good fitness level, good mental discipline, toughness, mental toughness, endurance and all those things. So that helped me to do running, to go for Himalayan adventures, trekking, and these things happened by chance. Somebody told me about Himalayan adventure, Himalayan treks, then I went on pursuing it. I went for those youth hostel trekking programs, and from there I got information for other things, because in those days internet and all those things were not there. Everything was offline, hard copies, sending self-addressed envelopes to get the information, prospects and all those things. So one thing led to the other. 84 I started my Himalayan treks, getting information from somebody, and then 85, 86 I did my mountaineering courses from Darjeeling. And then I went for a few expeditions through Indian Mountaineering Foundation. So, I mean, I was so hooked to it, I was prepared to resign my job also. But I just held up to that because of the finance. This was, in those days, adventure tourism, adventure sports would not have given you so much of income. So I continued in the job, but simultaneously I was doing all these things. And then running happened when I was posted in Goa. That was in late 80s and 90s.
Okay.
I just used to go countryside, on the beach side, because I had to maintain my fitness level for Himalayan treks and karate classes and all. I used to go for running, and I was again hooked for that also. Every day morning at least 10 kilometers in those days, and Sundays long runs to the beach side, 18-20 kilometers and all.
Wow.
And without all these races, in those days, in 90s, early 90s, these races were not there. Now every city has got multiple races, but in those days races were not there. But just for my fitness and that running, what high and what mental tranquility and then fitness and then that feeling of high well-being, all those things it gives. Because of that I continued.
Very nice. So thank you
these
for
things.
this amazing wrap of your last 40 years of what you've been doing. Because we touched upon a few things like, being a woman, also how we are conditioned, also how we don't think out of the box, because we just feel, okay, this is my life is given, I need to do certain roles and then I exit, right? From that point, you did go against the current. You did take some steps which were not traditionally done by women. What are the kind of challenges that came along?
See, I have to go back 50 years, almost 45 to 50 years. We have to imagine what sort of a society it was.
Yeah.
I had all sorts of challenges. Social barrier, familial barrier, professional barrier, my own mental barrier, whether I am doing this right or wrong, whether I should stop, whether I should get married and settle down, what my parents are expecting from me to do. Otherwise also, whether I will be able to do this one, if I take up a bigger challenge. I had my own doubt whether I will be able, because I have not done anything right from the childhood. Once I started at 30 years, I was thinking it is too late to take up any bigger challenges. So that mental barrier was there. Financial barrier. 50 years back, we had small salaries.
Of course.
Now things are in lakhs. In those days, not even tens of thousands, it was only in thousands. So in that only I used to save money and go on a very economical shoestring budget programs. right from and then there were no sponsorships. Office was not very happy for me being away from the office for a long time.
Yeah.
And then parents were very worried what I am doing, where I am going, how I will get married, whether anybody will accept me or not, what the society will say. So parents were bothered, and in the society, in the offices and all, not only the bosses, even the colleagues also, sort of, she just goes out to escape the job. We have to struggle here, we
Sure,
have to
yeah,
toil
yeah, I
here.
know what you
So
mean,
all
yeah.
such sort of things were there, and then these activities, once you get into it and what sort of transformation it brings in your emotional, spiritual, physical personality, then you will not be able to give up. That's what happened. Even if I wanted to give up, no. During one expedition and all, because of some challenges there, because of some difficulty or whatever it is, I would say never in my lifetime I will come for any expedition. And before I could come back to my base, I would be planning the next one. So that is how you are hooked to it. That is called passion. It is not just hobby, it is passion. Passion goes beyond all these restrictions. You come out of those barriers. You know where is your vision and what sort of again transformation, changes it is bringing in you. Once you realize those things, you will not be. It is sort of an enlightenment about
Of
yourself.
course, yeah.
About yourself,
It's
not
a
about
self-discovery.
not about the God and the super power and all those things. It is an enlightenment. It is the calling for yourself, what you want to do in life. And in any case, I was not interested in the banking. I mean, I was not ambitious about the banking. I just was pulling on just for the salary purpose.
So did you eventually get married?
No, I didn't get married.
So you think that women, this is a big thing, that if you want to pursue something that is close to your heart, then either you don't get married, because then it also involves a lot of sacrifice, or when you get married, you also come out of marriage, because then again,
No, not necessarily. With marriage, with full-fledged family, with children, growing up children and all, people are doing it. Only thing, you need to have family support.
yeah.
Either from the elders like in-laws or parents, or from husband, some support system. If you have, you can very well do everything. See, people are occupying very high position in their profession with a family. And these adventure sports also, they have climbed Everest, they have climbed so many other difficult things,
yes.
and they are pursuing so many other sports item, sports events. In marathon, once this recreational marathon has come up, more than half of them are married and with family, both men and women. 40 plus, 50 plus ladies are coming into marathon, and they are doing so well. They are going for even international level for the podium finishes also. So it is that what you say, junoon, and that is support, and of course finances. All these are very expensive hobbies. Financial support is also very much required, but ironically there is not much of sponsorships coming for these things, or the governmental support, how for other sports, cricket or other things, tennis and all, how institutional and corporate governmental support is there. For these things it is not there. They are doing on their own. Even climbing Everest also, somebody has to do on their own expenses and all. In some states they have kept some awards and rewards.
Yeah. So if Mala had to think about all the learnings that you probably collected along the way, and the way that you started and the way that you're now, what are the new things that you have discovered in the last 30-40 years about yourself?
See, society is what? You and me? Why you should bother so much for society? क्या बिरादरी में क्या बोलेंगे? It is one thing. And financial constraints will be there at that moment. But that opportunity, that fitness level, or that josh you may not sustain for long. What josh I had 20 years back or fitness level I had 20 years back, I may not be having now. So what opportunities I missed, like climbing to the Everest, I missed for so many reasons. Now even if I have money, because it costs a bit, 30-40 lakhs, even if I have money now, it's very difficult to plan that, because you should be prepared mentally, physically, financially, in all respects.
Right.
And then looking for or requesting some support, family support, and while selecting your partner also, you should see the compatibility. It is not that on some parameters you said, okay, he is in good job, he is earning so much, his family is like this and all that. If you get married and if your compatibility is not there, and if you are so much involved for all these things, and if that support is not coming from your partner, that also matters. So while selecting your life partner, be careful, even if it takes little more time. See whether you are going to enjoy your life along with him, or you are going to grow and blossom your personality together.
Sure.
So these things one has to consider. Okay, I am not married, so all those botherations are not there, but being alone is also difficult in the society, and managing all these things, taking some tough decisions.
Right.
So some moral support is there, these things will be easier. And lot of people who have achieved certain level in their field, they certainly have some support, family support, moral support, either from the institution or from the family. So these things are required. And don't compromise on your life. Don't yield to some pressure, emotional pressures. Once you are clear in your mind, that clarity you develop pursuing these things also. What you have to delete from your life, what you have to pursue in your life, these things also you get the clarity if you are doing all these things, because your mind, your brain is working so efficiently. There is proper exercise, proper oxygen to your brain, to your whole system, nervous system and all that. So you have the clarity of your thoughts and for your life. So you will be able to take a proper decision for yourself. And of course, maintaining good health, fitness and all these things are on a physical level. But on emotional level also, pursuing some outdoor activity is very important for a lady at any stage to realize her personality and to have that clarity and to have that emotional equilibrium. Productivity increases both in the office and the family circumstances. The productivity also increases, and that balance of thoughts and balance of actions will be there.
So if one has to start anything in sport or adventure, trekking, marathon, what should one do as the first step?
Basic fitness activity: walking, jogging, yoga, climbing steps. Stop using lift and escalators and elevators and all. Start climbing the steps. At least morning at 2-3 kilometers walking, jogging. And if you have some convenience, some facility, proximity, convenience, then join some classes where team sports are there. And to going one step ahead, it is not necessary one should go for a marathon run, one should go to climb the mountains. Even the basic level, fitness level, whatever suits your circumstances, whatever suits your lifestyle, these things if you continue, there is a scientific background also, scientific research also, how much one should do. 150 minutes of some activity, endurance activity at a certain intensity. It is not strolling with your dog and going for milk and vegetable. At a certain particular intensity, if you do 150 minutes per week, that it would be good enough to maintain your regular health and fitness. And beyond that, if you want to pursue, then you have to go according to those requirements. Fitness is very specific now. How you select one subject in a college or in your any other courses and pursue that subject only, though that subject may require so many other supporting activities. So similarly, if you want to climb mountains, that is a specific fitness level is required, but before that you have to have a basic fitness. If you want to run a marathon, full marathon, then you have to develop the endurance, reduce the weight, reduce the fat, proper diet and proper breathing activity, rhythmic breathing and all those things. But before that, basic fitness should be there. So every sports is very specific now. But first, how up to high school you read all the subjects. Here, up to certain level, you have to pursue everything. Your fitness, your endurance, your strength, stretching activities, breathing activities, good diet, body composition, all these comes at the basic level. And after that your specialization starts in the college, which stream you are taking, and after that further specialization starts. Similarly in the fitness level also, up to certain level it is basic, doing walking, jogging, yoga, playing one sport, climbing steps, all such things, Pilates and all such things. And beyond that, if you want to pursue, then you have to go specific into those fields.
Very beautiful. All right. So, how many marathons have you run so far?
I have run 26 full marathons.
Wow.
And 2 ultra runs. Ultra run is more than full marathon, more than 42 kilometers.
Okay.
And then half marathon is 21 kilometers, that I don't keep count, because these things happen as a training for the full marathons. Before one full marathon, we might have run 4-5 half marathons. So, but these days I am sticking to half marathon only. But I did 26 full marathons, and that too around the world.
Wow.
Around the world means I did Antarctica marathon.
Wow.
I did 4 marathons in US. I did Great Wall of China marathon. I did Everest Base Camp marathon. I did Kilimanjaro marathon. And in India, almost all the cities I have run. And in those days, I used to be on the podium bracket wherever I went,
So,
in my age category.
Wow. So are these marathons, like you said, you need money for everything. If you have to run also in Antarctica, you need to reach there.
Yeah.
So how did you support yourself at that time?
See, by that time, I had already put in lot of service, little bit of saving, little bit of investments, all those things were there. At that time, I had sold off some of my property and I had got a lot of cash also. So instead of using it for some other, I wanted to upgrade my vehicle, I wanted to renovate my house, but I dropped all those ideas, I kept them on back burner. Then I utilized all that money for my marathon in Antarctica, marathon in Great Wall. Great Wall came afterwards. Everest Base Camp marathon, visit to US, running 2 marathons there at that time. So whenever I get some lump sum, either my FD is matured or LIC policy is maturing, whenever I get some lump sum, I plan certain thing like that.
And so do you get anything back if you win it?
In marathons, I have got a lot of cash prizes. Now these days cash prizes are there, but earlier it was not there. Even if it was there, it was used to be 5,000, 7,000, something like that. But now in certain marathons like this Bombay marathon and Delhi marathon,
Right.
Amount is substantial. In Bombay, I have got first place 5 times.
Wow.
Amounting to 50,000 every time. That is almost 2.5 lakhs. But that will take care of one visit abroad for me and running 2 marathons, something like that. And other races also, anything between 25 to 50,000 cash prizes are there only if you are in that bracket. Now I also ran, then you will have to spend. Traveling, local travel also is quite expensive now, and if you are traveling abroad, then you have to.
So is there any incident that stands out for you, and if you want to describe it about your marathon journey?
Yeah, again I have to tell about Everest Base Camp.
Yes.
Everest Base Camp actually happened by a suggestion from a friend who is also a mountaineer, and he was telling, being a mountaineer and a runner, why don't you do this one, and you can do it on your own, you don't have to go through an agency and all. That's what I did. I went solo.
Wow.
Solo means practically leaving from home solo and doing everything on my own. I didn't book anything, any agency, any porter, any guide or any hotels on the way, because on the way also those tea huts are there, you can stay there. You don't have to carry the tents and all those things. So I just carried my personal gear, clothing, warm clothing and all those things. I just went. I would go to the walk for 5-6 hours. If I reach a small hutment, I would find out if the accommodation is available there. I would stay, then go like that. So complete exploration on my own, and I had not even read much about it also. Whatever was coming on the way, I was just taking it on my stride, and I did. And after that, I did the marathon down. That was one of the lifetime experience. And of course, running in Antarctica also. All the 24 hours bright sunlight there.
Oh.
What we all studied in our high schools, geography and all those things were coming to my mind. Minus 20-25 degree temperature, 200 kilometer wind speed, and then full pristine snow throughout. You're running on the snow, soft snow. Wow. Those things. Whenever I see these photographs, all these feelings come out. Nostalgic. This one is explaining. This one is very difficult.
Of
to
course,
put
you have
it
to
in words
experience-
is
of course,
difficult.
definitely, it's a lot
Only
of
one has to experience. Even the Himalayan experiences also, one has to experience. Seeing those snow-capped peak in front of you, full 360 degree, how you will explain it?
Yeah, you can't. I know.
God's creation and God's magic, the way color plays during sunrise and sunset and all those things. How can you explain? I am not that kind of a poet or a writer. Only I am a woman of deeds, not words. I fail to explain these things.
Okay, so one is marathon and the other is treks, right?
Treks and mountaineering. Earlier I did mountaineering, climbing peaks. Even I went for some of the bigger expeditions where this was they were as a selection for Everest, 91, 92 all in those days.
Wow.
It was all women expeditions, but somehow I couldn't get into final Everest expedition. I didn't get the selection in that. Then I was involved in my bank work and all those things, and then I thought, let me do some course, fitness course, which will help me to understand the whole process, body physiology, exercise physiology, biomechanics and all those things, and nutrition and all those things. So I did a course after I left the bank. Then again I came back to marathon, running marathons. In between there was some gap, marathon, and then during this Everest marathon the idea came to me, why can't I try Everest at least now? 93 I had missed the opportunity. So 2011 when I was sitting at the base camp, then idea came, let me try. So I should not have the regret that I didn't try. Even if I fail doesn't matter, but I should try this. So I came back and started my preparation, but finally it materialized in 2015, going to the Everest, to climb the Everest peak.
Wow.
For that, of course, my banks, I worked in two banks, no? Syndicate Bank and IndusInd Bank. Two banks had given me some sponsorship, part of it, and ONGC had given, and remaining some 12-13 lakhs I myself managed from my savings. Till the last penny in my account I took out and managed all these things. But unfortunately what happened, 2015 big earthquake. After 3-4 days observing the situation and all that, they cancelled the expedition and sent us back.
Oh, okay.
See, at the age of 62, I mean, even taking out everything I had, all those things, and then working out on my fitness for almost one and a half year, all those things are preparations I had done. and we were sitting in a base camp for almost 1 week, making all the preparations, acclimatization work, refreshing our skills, sorting out our luggage, and then sending all the technical equipment to the higher camps and all those things we had done, and we were sent back.
My God.
25th April this happened, and 30th we were asked to go back. So that was a big jolt, big, it shaked me. The earth was shaking, but I too was shaking inside. My confidence, the whole personality was shaking. At this age I have been doing, because I felt there was no opportunity for me to come back again. After 62 and again managing 30-35 lakhs, coming back, and as it is I had taken already loan, and how many times anybody will give you sponsorship. That because I had worked in both the banks, they had consideration for me, they had given the sponsorship, otherwise all these things. So I was in complete doldrum, I was shaken, I was shattered. So yeah, I am going back to the base camp.
Yeah.
So at that time I was thinking that I may not go back to the Himalayas again. Because these are all very expensive, and then as it is I didn't have any money, everything I had put it in that. After coming back I had to clear my loan and I had to lead my life also. So I thought it may not be, and then age also was catching up. So I thought I may not be able to do it, but at that time it came, no, I am not going to stop this. I have got so much of experience, almost 30 years. Let me share my experience and then knowledge and all those things, and who wants to do things. I am not going to do a big business, a big company level business, but on a freelance basis, whoever is interested in these fields, I'll help them.
Wow.
That was the idea that came when I was sitting in base camp for 5 days and pondering on all the happenings, why this happened, why it has to happen to me at this age. All those things, when I was pondering, then, then I decided, no, I am not going to stop it, because what I am today or on that day, it was because of mountaineering, marathon, fitness, and I don't say I did big sacrifices, keeping other things aside, facing the society, facing parents, facing the professional surrounding and all those things. I have come up to this level, so this should take me till my last breath. It is not that I am going to give it up. So if not me doing all these things, all my experience and my knowledge, I will put it in a different capsule and give it to other people who are interested. Why always I should be doing it?
Right.
Let me help other people, even if in a small way, small treks, small expeditions and all. So after coming back 16 onwards, I started taking the groups for these programs.
Very nice. So you actually started, let's say in inverted commas, a small business or an intervention at 62.
Yeah, 63.
Or 63, I heard it right? So whoever is listening to this, there is no age when you can reinvent yourself. There is no age when you can start earning for yourself. And there is no age when you can actually climb mountains. So here, this is Mala. Her story is so amazing and so inspiring that I hope that each one of us who's listening today is able to take out something which probably might be blocking our way, a view or something that we needed to do for ourselves. So take this first step today, because it's never too late.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
Correct.
So Mala, how many treks have you done?
No count. I must have gone to Himalayas maybe 80, 90 or 100 times. Because every year these days, since 2016, I have been going to Himalaya for different programs at least 6-7 times a year from 16 onwards. And before that I was doing for myself at least 2 programs in a year.
So are you an inclined spiritual person? Because they all say Himalayas is your highest point of spirituality that you reach.
Yes, in Himalaya you find the divinity, you find the spirituality. For this feeling, for this approach, you need not go to that Kedarnath temple, Badrinath temple. Whole of Himalaya is divine. whole of Himalaya gives you that spiritual vibrations. Wherever you are sitting looking at that expanse of Himalayas, expanse of snow, rivers and all those things, those feelings, those vibrations you get. Emotional calming down, spiritual vibrations, divinity, all those things.
So
but-
do you think
but-
that it's your calling, like,
Yeah.
you go so many times, do you feel you run to the place again because it's calling you?
That's why at this age also, even if so many difficulties are there in organizing these things, logistical, organizational issues are there, I go back, because even if 2, 3, 4 ladies get the benefit out of it and feel something different about it, why not help them?
Yes, why not?
So for me also and for other people also, initiating them into this divine path or a spiritual path. It is not necessarily to go to the temple and all for to get that feeling.
Yeah.
Everywhere divinity is there, everywhere spirituality is there. Though specifically I don't follow any spiritual path, your life itself becomes a spiritual journey.
Right.
Once you start realizing your inner self and then start associating, start connecting with the nature, connecting with the whatever vibes are there around, your life itself becomes spiritual.
So what is a must keep in your bag for these treks and marathons? What's a must take? Your companion.
Yeah. Actually, everybody uses mobiles with some applications. I never carry mobile. Not even one time I have carried mobile for any of these runs. You should not have any distraction. You have to keep your mind, body, heart, soul, everything integrated. You should feel alive when you are running. So other things, either a water bottle or a gel packet or some other nutrition like banana, all those things are there, but for a smaller distance and all you don't need. But keeping yourself intact, integrated, what activity you are doing, keeping your mind also in that activity, your heart and soul also in that activity, then you get the real experience out of it, real high out of it. So I carry myself, whole of myself there.
So nice.
Whatever it is behind me in the house, in the other field of my life, I don't. Even when I was working, when I used to have a lot of problem with my bosses because of my absence from the office, once I am in the either in the track or running anywhere, I would forget everything. And whatever complications were there, complex issues were there in the bank, everything would clear down. All the cobwebs will clear in from your mind. So you will be able to take proper decision, proper productivity in your life, not only office and corporate thing, even in your life also. I can feel the change in me if I don't go for 2-3 days. The lethargy, the mind blocking and all those things what I feel, and once I start doing these things, I can very well feel. So carry full of you, mind, heart, soul, that is thing.
Very nice.
For these activities. Of course, other items are there which are necessary while running. Little bit of water, small bottle of water, or some nutrition also if you are doing long runs and all such things, and then proper gear like proper shoes. People are doing barefoot also, but I don't do. I do with proper shoes only. And then when you are going for trekking, depending on the place you are going, altitude you are going, number of days that you are going, some of my gear changes. But otherwise, one jacket, one sleeping bag, maybe one walking stick, and the proper trekking shoes, all these things are a must.
Sure.
One headlamp, all these things are a must.
So how, if somebody wants to participate in a trek that you lead, how do they find you?
I have a small outfit called Maho Adventures. Mala Honati, my name only, Maho Adventures. I usually announce all my programs well in advance, at least 3-4 months in advance, on my Facebook page and Facebook group, WhatsApp group, Insta, LinkedIn and all those social media. This one. Mainly I am on Facebook, Instagram and other things are little less. And then I have got a WhatsApp group also. I announce there. Annually I do 6 or 7 programs. I announce there, and whichever suits them, different difficulty level. Everest Base Camp is little longer, little difficult, and then if you do smaller ones like Tapovan or Hamta Pass or something in Indian lower altitude, they are little easier. For first timers there are easier one. So like that I make a combination of all these things, announce about 6 programs every year, somewhere in last week of December or first week of January. Then whatever suits them they can register, or they can get in touch with me beforehand, get to know how to prepare fitness level.
Yeah,
even
that's important.
fitness guidelines also I give on the WhatsApp group. I keep putting what all fitness this one activities they should do, and if they are taking a longer and the difficult one, how much they have to do. The
Perfect.
first timers little less, and all those things, a comparative idea I can give. I keep doing those things once in a week on my group, and if they have done already some small treks and all, they can go for a little challenging one, little difficult one. Apart from that, I do some small expeditions also. Whatever suits them, they can.
Very nice. So if anybody who wants to join Mala, please read all the links in the bio, so that you're able to, of course, contact her and be in one of her expeditions going next.
Yeah, sure.
I'm very inspired today, and I hope that
It
I will
starts
join
usually
you.
from April, and then in between 2 months rainy season I don't go, because in Himalayan ranges it's very risky, lot of landslide, floods and all those things. So 2 months during rainy season I don't go, I take break at that time. Then again September, October, another 2-3 I do.
Perfect. So thank you, Mala, for this. But before you go, do you want to say anything to women of today? Especially
yeah.
keeping reinvention in mind.
Yeah, you have been telling reinvention all the time. Yeah, this reinvention and rediscovering, these two are very favorite words for me. Even in somewhere when I was writing something about something else, I said everybody should reinvent and reinvest, invest in themselves and rediscover themselves at regular interval. It is not that only after retirement you do. Every 10 years you do, whether your life is going in a particular direction what you want, whether you are enjoying this or not. Otherwise reinvent. Even in your professional life also you will have to rediscover, you have to upskill yourself. Similarly in life also you have to upskill and rediscover your forgotten or dormant potentials. So everybody is special, everybody has got something special in them. Try to know it, try to invent or take it out, and then don't be bogged down by other problems, other hindrances in life. Realize yourself, realize your inner potential. See, earlier 50 years back, lady taking a job itself was big thing, and after another 20 years if she reached a higher level in her profession, she has achieved something. So one is her family dimension and another is professional dimension. But now you are expected to have a third dimension, realizing your own other potential, other talent. So not realizing or suppressing it or keeping it dormant is a crime you are doing to yourself. Give opportunity to yourself to blossom completely as a person. And whatever you have, all those things should come out, not only for yourself, for the society, for your family, for your children. If you are doing all these things, what effect it will have on your children? If you are fit at 50 and doing something wonderful things, what your husband and what your children will think. So dig into yourself, whatever dormant is there. Find out the third dimension in you. Everybody has. It is not necessarily going out to all these things. Whatever it is, वो नशा होना चाहिए जिंदगी में. But what sort of nasha you have depends on your personality, depend on your dreams. So एक नशा रहना चाहिए, so that other problems, why somebody will have into that other nasha, drink alcohol nasha, to forget some issues in their life. So similarly you have some other nasha to forget other issues in your life, but not the alcoholic nasha, but these nashas, your passion, that nashas you should have. So develop that third dimension you will be very, very, what you say, transformed person.
So like Mala said, that let's be in the intoxication of reinvention. And thank you, Sochcast. It's a great honor for me to have Mala sitting by my side. I'm very inspired today, and I'm sure that everybody who's listening to this series, there are incredible women coming and speaking about their reinvention. If you have a story to tell, you can move somebody's life, and your reinvention story can actually bring in a lot of impact to somebody else. Just tell us, and we like to host you here. So thanks, Mala, again. It's a pleasure, and yeah, keep reinventing and keep trekking and keep mountaineering and keep doing what you're doing, all the fantastic work, and I am sure that I will be joining you soon.
Most welcome. I look forward, and thank you so much for having me here and giving vent to my feelings and emotions.
Really
you know.
nice.
Thank you
Yes.
so much for having me.
Thank you.